I'm telling them that I can't breathe. Clearly he don't give a damn about my plea. His ancestors used to hang us on trees. Today they identify as road police. You see I'm black, for that I'm a threat to America. My rise is their fall and their fall is evident. Blood on your hands is heavier than an elephant. Open up America's closet and see.
I'm the 20th, and this is Reunite Sandy Speaks. It's been a minute. If some of y'all like are subscribing, y'all looking for videos regularly, message me, say something, cause I'm struggling, okay? And I'm not gonna go into song and dance of the struggle, but the struggle is real. So this video today is going to be about Nolan Wells. And you know what? Before the video, I want to give condolences to his parents, Christine and Elmore Wansley. I couldn't imagine. What I want to say is, black people, it's time to, I've been saying this for several years, we need to make it stop. I'm going to go into this. I'm going to take my time. I'm going to try not to make it too long. And I'm going to wing it. I didn't take notes to outline everything I want to say. But it's a lot of things I want to say. I'm thinking about this mother. I couldn't imagine. Family, what I just need you to get, that this could have been your son. This could have been you. And I say it over and over again. What you need to recognize is our fate is linked. What happens to me happens to you. And until we as a group take this seriously, hold these people accountable, take real action collectively, this is going to continue. And okay, this is about, I'm going to talk about Nolan Wells' case. I want to talk about Carmelo too. I'm going to do another video. I'm heartbroken about Carmelo. I'm suffering from depression and anxiety, but the Carmelo Anthony really affected me really badly. I'm carrying a lot of guilt. I knew they was going to do that, boy. I called his lawyer one time and he never called me back. I'm going to talk about Carmelo Anthony in another video, but it relates to the same thing. This is about two Americas. This is about America breaking the promise of the 14th Amendment to black people. This is about governmental agencies, law enforcement, judges, judicial system, not protecting us, not providing equal protection under the law. In the case of Nolan Wells, the judge, the previous judge, attorney Carlos Moore, he discusses how typically these cases are handled. How someone had his phone, they had to locate his phone, they had to track and locate his phone, how proper investigation wasn't done. This attorney talks about when he was on the judge, that someone may have written a request for arrest for them having his phone. The fact that they had to find it and they were reluctant to give it back, they were reluctant to give the keys, that's theft to the judge, according to attorney Carlos Moore. I'm trying to remember everything he said, you guys. Because I watched his video and I was really very impressed that he, as a former judge, spoke out. He was saying if he was on the bench, he was a judge on the bench, that he couldn't make any comments. That because he's not a judge any longer, that he can analyze and dissect the case. You know what, guys? I'm going to put his video from Instagram in the description. I want you guys to watch it because guys, I get really razzled, and what I want you to get is that this is constitutional violations. When they don't treat us equally, when the police, judges, other governmental agencies work in concert to suppress the prosecution or the investigation, that's unequal. That's what the 14th Amendment was enacted for. So we, the newly freed slaves in 1866, I hope I'm saying the year right, were promised to be treated equally. We're not being treated equally. I really need you people to take a look at my case. It's a lot, and I know I sound so convoluted because this is what's happening to my brain. I recently was diagnosed with an illness because of the cortisol and me being in a perpetual state of fight or flight because of what these people did to me. They did this to me because I'm black and the man I was married to was white. My case has the potential to create real change. It demonstrates hate crimes, fraud, collusion, anti-black against me because I'm black. And it continues because we are not taking the proper steps. The civil rights lawyers in this country that are representing black people are not taking the proper steps. And you guys, this is really very hard for me. I'm not an attorney. I plan to go to law school. I'm a fashion finance girl. I'm a business entrepreneur. But because people died for us, people gave their life, they was hung, raped, murdered, burnt alive. Black Wall Street, because we are black people. This is my civil duty. This happened to this boy because they knew it was okay to harm us with impunity. The most important aspect to take away is that we see, it's not speculative, we can speculate, but what is the probability that he left his phone, that he went missing on the 4th and his body came back on the 6th, that they had his phone and didn't immediately give up his phone or his keys. The fact that there hasn't been a search warrant issued for all the people involved. Because they can do this to us, y'all. And if you listen to me and you're a black person and you think it's okay, if you listen to me and you still don't want to take action, I'm trying to tell you, this could have been you. This could have been my kid. This could have been your father, your brother. Let me talk about Nolan Wells. Well, I'm disgusted. The probability is that that boy lost his life, that he was killed or murdered. He may have died accidentally. They may have been doing something and he died accidentally and they're afraid to tell the truth. I'll even cop to that. But the fact that they are covering it up because the police and the investigators are not addressing this situation like they would if he wasn't a black person, it's a problem. And I got to get a hold of myself, because I really need to say this to you guys in a way where you understand and you get it. And I know I'm beating a dead horse, and I'm beating a dead horse. And one of the reasons that I've struggled with articulating and being intelligent in my delivery of my thoughts, because I'm suffering from anxiety and depression, from trauma, from the government, from judges, lawyers, law enforcement in the state of California. I didn't do anything. And I've been suffering since 2019. And I've been begging you people to help me. Let me tell you this. I called one black lawyer, a black male lawyer. I'm going to talk about Nolan, but this is relating to my case, because my case will set precedents. In the case of Nolan Wells, we know that the investigation is not being handled properly. And what's troublesome for me is that 95%, probably, I'm just throwing a number out there, of black people know that something happened to this young man. 95% of melanated people know that the judges, the lawyers, the law enforcement, the investigation, the FBI are not going to treat this like it is. How should I say? We're not gonna be treated fairly. There's not gonna be a proper investigation. And so what I'm saying is it's speculative. It's what's it called? Words will come. I'm trying to think of the word. Conjecture. Oh, we don't know. He could have drowned. We don't know what happened to him. Police said, well, it doesn't look like it was foul play. And you guys, I can't tell you how this hurt my heart. How these things that continue to happen to us hurt my heart. And I am angry with us. And many of you are going to say, oh, you're blaming the victim. No, this is what they've been doing to us since they brought us here. And at some point, we have to say, what is our contribution in this? Is this happening and we're allowing it to happen? Could we be doing something more effective and efficient to protect people who look like us? Are we going on with our life and we're hoping and praying and crossing our fingers it doesn't happen to us? See, what happens, because I've been dealing with this and thinking about this over and over again. And like, thoughts come in my mind that wouldn't have come, I would never have thought this 10 years ago. Like, why does this keep happening to us? Are they smarter than us? Do they have more racial pride than we do? And then some of you guys will say, well, we're outnumbered. You know what? Ask these people. Ask these people right here. I'm going to put it here or here. Ask these people, are they outnumbered? Or did they work smarter? Where am I going? See, I'm getting angry. And I'm rambling. The major takeaway from this issue is the investigators, people, governmental agencies and agents charged with protecting citizens under the Constitution are not doing what they're charged to do. That there's two Americas, and it continues to happen. And the main reason why it's not happening, y'all, because we're not making it about black. I don't want to talk about Carmelo Anthony, but because I'm going to have a video for him. The issue with Carmelo Anthony, I don't know, you guys, I want to rant because I don't know how all this dream team came out of the blue. When I'm not an attorney and I knew they was going to do him at the gate. I'm going to say this really quickly. in the case of Carmelo Anthony, the question is, did he have fear? Did he have rationalized fear? And because they didn't make it about him being a black man, let me tell you something. You're not black, you're going to say something else. But if you're a black person, this is about black. Because the black male brain is not the same as the white male brain. The black male brain in the amygdala, I'm not saying it right, amygdala, is where memories and thoughts are held. Black men saw George Floyd get hung in broad daylight. Black men have witnessed videos for the past 5 or 6 years of black men being beat, hung, attacked by the other man. And this is unconscious. Carmelo Anthony's reaction was involuntary. It was a survival. And nobody talked about it. See, I'm a rant. I went in Clubhouse and they was like, oh, he stabbed this person and he was little. No, he was afraid. He was afraid. And this is what you know, y'all need to come see who I am and what I am and what they did to me. And some of y'all gonna be like, well, that's what you get. In the case of Carmelo Anthony, he was from New York. His parents, this is what we do. We try to put our kids in a more safe environment, thinking that it's a higher echelon. And I don't think we want to be around white, like our goal is to be with white people. That's not our goal. When we move to these areas, because it's safe. First of all, a lot for me, it's more amenities. It's safer. As far as education, you expect to have a good education. You know? And this is what hurts my heart, is that we are black people. You know our history. The Wansleys put their son in this environment because they wanted what's best for him. I'm going to talk about him because his father. And how they holding up. How that woman is able to talk about her baby. And that man is able to talk about his son. That's for you and I. They love their son. They lost their kid. But we have to respect them and appreciate them for moving forward with dignity and trying to get justice for their kid. You guys need to sit here and think about what it is for them to wake up one day and their kid's gone. And where I was going with this, and this is what hurts, because for me, you guys, I went to college, I raised my kids, I married an educated person. Together, we built stuff together. Our kids went to private school. I was living an American dream. And they took it from me. With the same consciousness as why Black Wall Street happened. They had this impulse to cause us pain, to not want to see us be happy, live in harmony, and have the American dream. And I want to say this to you. It's those of you who don't live in these neighborhoods, y'all think that's what you get messing with them. You already want to live with them people. And a lot of times y'all think we trying to be around these people. I'm not racist. I mess with everybody. I live around Asians, okay, and some Mexicans. In my marital home, I was in an Asian area. I wasn't looking to be around these people. They're not my own people. I wanted my kids in a nice school system. I wanted a nice home. And this is what Carmelo Anthony and Nolan Wells' parents wanted for their children. It's what I wanted for my black son. I didn't want my black son to be a statistic. Nolan Wells is a statistic. Carmelo Anthony is a statistic. And it continues because we as a nation, as a group, are not dealing with this effectively. I mentioned the attorney Carlos Moore, Judge Carlos Moore, and I'm going to put again his video in the description. And the reason being, I'm saying this to you because he's telling you this is our people involved, engaged, making us aware that what happened with Nolan Wells, there's something rotten in Denmark. I shouldn't keep going back to Carmelo Anthony, but Carmelo Anthony is breaking my heart. In the case of Carmelo Anthony, this was one of the first red flags to me. They told the kids if they leaked any video that they would be charged with obstruction. The law enforcement purposely suppress possible evidence. Because it's a black man. This is a black child. It's a black male. And I'm going to tell you this because I'm not a feminist. They come for the men because they're the men. That's the head. They continue to come for the men, the head, and try to emasculate our men. In the case of Nolan Wells, I'm going to tell you my read. Because I heard his father. What his father keeps talking about is how he groomed him to make football about possible business in his future. That he was taking his love of football seriously. That he was imparting that Nolan was imparting that same thought process to his younger brother. Carmelo Anthony was an athlete. And let me tell you, I've been living around white people, I think since I was about 16 years old. In school, in my classes, and usually I was the only black person. There's two other black people that was in school with me, and they both are doctors. Two other black women, and they both are doctors. The only other class that I had with black people was PE. And I'm saying that to you because I'm telling you that I was accustomed to the microaggressions. They didn't bother me. Okay? I didn't feel no kind of way. When they would do that thing they do, I could care less. Because I like me. I knew what the intentions were. When I was younger, sometimes I may have said something. I may have responded. I may have got a little, uppity about it. It all depends. But I knew what it was. Okay? And I'm a female. I want you to understand with Carmelo Anthony and Nolan Wells how that is to a young black man. Nolan was a sweet kid. They say that Carmelo Anthony saves a child that was drowning. They keep wanting to paint him to be this thug. But my understanding is that he was a honor student. He just was an athlete. He was like, there's different kind of boys, right? It's like, and he was kind of one of those boys that, and there's nothing wrong with that. The two twins that approached him had the same macho bravado. He said, put your hands on me. Go ahead. In the case of Carmelo Anthony. And you guys, when he said, put your hands on me, let's keep it a buck. That means you better not put your hands on me. But how is it interpreted when it's coming from a black person? When it's a black person? this is what I, because, and I talked about being raised around these people, because they call him a sweet guy. He was nice and he was good. Probably not as innocent or demure as Elijah McClain, but they called him a sweet guy. That he was sweet. He was probably, and probably one of the things that happened, the girls probably liked him. I'm saying to you guys, I was raised with these people. I went to school with these people. I went to college with these people. Okay? And based on how his parents talk about him, based on what we see, he was probably popular. And some of these people have a barbaric impulse to want to knock us down a notch, bring us harm. If you follow my story, if you take time, it's a lot. You see how they colluded to harm me for no other reason than I was born an American Negro. That I am a descendant, a child of slavery. That my great-grandfather fought in World War II. I'm an American Negro. And because judges, lawyers, law enforcement, and other governmental agencies wanted to bring me harm because I'm black, it's the same consciousness and impulse for Black Wall Street. So, what they think about Nolan Wells? What y'all think they thought about him? See, some of you guys may have been around people who look like us, lived in black neighborhoods, went to school with black people, may work, in a multicultural environment. But when it's work, it's work. It's very surface level, right? So you may not understand or can visualize our experience, black bodies in white spaces. Just even if you're not black, if it's not even a racial issue, that if you are a good athlete, if you're liked, it's people out here that harbor resentment and want to harm you. You guys, I'm going to tell you this story. It's some things I need to get to, but I'm going to tell you this story. My greatest accomplishment in life is my son. But for my black son, I would be homeless in the street, probably dead or crazy. I raised my son in suburbia. Between the ages of, since he was like 6, since he was little, like 6, 7, he was into Pokemon. He did where he liked, my son was a skater. The video, he used to do videotaping of skating. I'm trying to tell you all the different, stuff that he was into. And we lived in a suburban area. And it was multicultural. It's where my marital home is. It's a large Asian population, but there's Armenian, Mexican, European. And so he went to school with those kids, and both my children are very charismatic, like me and my husband. My whole family is very charismatic, very personable, where we engage with people. And my son, I'm trying to tell you all stuff. He's into Pokemon. He was into what is it? The Japanese anime video games. And so he played with all the kids. And he would come home and tell me about the well-to-do kids and how they were really bad and they used to do bad stuff. He used to come home and tell me, he's like, Mom, both my kids, my son and my daughter. And so then when he turned about 15 or 16, his friends start shifting. He started having primarily black male friends. And they didn't live, they were not in the area. He found them or sought them out in other areas. I don't know, he started developing black friends. trying to think where he met some of these friends. Just maybe in our neighborhood or somehow. But when he turned about 15 and 16, I noticed him being mostly around black men. And you know why? Because his friends started doing these microaggressions to him. I remember him saying, he'll start talking about a white boy. He had an Armenian friend and a Mexican friend. Actually, a black and a Mexican one of his friends went on some vacation. And the black kid, he's still best friends with this kid. This is when I started seeing him hanging out more with black males. And you know what, you guys, what it was? His non-black friends started doing these microaggressions to him. Started trying to knock him down a notch. And both my kids grew up well-to-do. Both my kids grew up in a very nice home. All the great things that kids get, the sneakers or whatever what the boys like, the no phones. My kids had all of that. And what happens is that when they see us living in this lifestyle, they become, I want to say jealous or envious, but it's much more insidious than that. It's like we don't deserve it. In my case, it's Judge Sarah Heidel, Judge Lawrence Thrift. They didn't think that I deserved to live the lifestyle that I built for myself. In the case of Nolan Wells, you guys, and this is speculative, but I just know because I live with these people. I know these people. I saw my son, and I didn't have a problem with him hanging out with black kids. Actually, the boys used to come to my house for Thanksgiving. I started cooking for them. They would come and eat in my house, and I just loved it. They would come and throw down. Okay? But I consciously recognized it. I probably didn't recognize it until he was like 18 or 19. And he would say stuff about his friends, like little. My son's a Virgo. He ain't gonna complain. I raised a man. He ain't gonna complain and say anything. But I saw him shift his friends. And it's because he started experiencing these microaggressions. And you guys, it's very hard for me to even think about those ideas, because I've come to know, because all this happened to me, they want to put us in this lower hierarchy. They want to make us feel inferior, less than, and not have the right to live in harmony. They think that we are secondary, inferior, and we don't deserve these things. And when they see us have more than they have, they want to take away what we have. And that's what it is. Look at me chanting how long I've been talking, y'all. 30 minutes. Let me get to what's important. So, we don't know what happened to Nolan Wells. But I want y'all to think about, see, y'all who haven't been in these spaces don't know, don't get it, okay? But y'all who been in them spaces, you know what I'm talking about. And us who navigate in those spaces, it's not like we don't care. Actually, we really don't care, because we like ourselves. Are we accustomed to that behavior? Some might, pander. Let me be honest, some of us might really believe those thoughts, that we're inferior, that they're better than us. Y'all see me say the same thing over again. Well, I was married to this white man. Me and him had a conversation. I told I had this conversation recently. In my lifespan, I lived in New York City. I lived in North Carolina. I didn't have this experience as much in New York City, but I had it in North Carolina and I had it in California. They look at me like I'm a special type of NIGGA. I'm a special kind. I'm different. And me and the person I married, he didn't understand why it was offensive to me. Well, I was supposed to be a special. And he would talk like that to me. Like one girl at work was like, "Oh, I like when you talk black." Yeah, y'all. Yeah, that's the stuff we go through. And I know some of y'all is like, "Well, why you being around them people? Why you being around that? That's your fault. You want to be around them people." That's what I'm coming to learn. But the fact is, we are just trying to live the American dream. We got our education. We got our careers. We want to live in a nice home with a backyard and a pool. We want to have Pilates or yoga around in a neighborhood. We want our kids to take tennis, go skiing. And, you know, I say that, and when I say that, I get a little fear because some of y'all look down on that. Y'all look down on the fact that we just want to live a good life. We just want to live the American dream. That we deserve that. And this is what the Wansleys wanted for their kids. And because I know that this element exists among these people, and then they say a girl. Then they say a girl that he was going to see was liking a girl. And I know y'all like, that's what y'all get messing with them people. That's what y'all get. Y'all gonna get enough of messing with them people. Right? Y'all, we just trying to live. We just trying to be happy. We're not racist because we don't feel any inferiority. Racism is about feeling inferior and insecure. And many of us who live and exist in these spaces, and it's not, y'all call it white America. I call it middle America. Because it's not just white people. It's people, immigrants, and Americans who want to live the American dream. Who want to have a house and nice cars, go on vacation. And I'm going to tell you, when they see some of them, and see, to white people, if you're listening, a white man was loving my life. He was my soulmate. I grew up with hanging out with white girls. I grew up in New York and I moved down south. I hang out with everybody. I have a girls group, and my group is everything. It's Asian, it's black, it's all kind of, it's everything. We had a party at our house one time, and the police knocked on the door. My son said it was his house, and they didn't believe it. And you guys, it's 2026. They brought us here 500 years ago. How is this still happening? Nolan Wells. The major takeaway, you guys, is that he's not being treated equally. That the agencies or governmental entities are not handling this as like they should. They're not following proper protocol or procedure. A former judge, Carlos Moore, he talked about specific stuff. And you guys, he didn't make it up. He was saying what's normal and usual. And I'm begging y'all to learn what happened to me. Learn what they did to me. Brazen. Multiple court officers, judges, justices, attorneys, law enforcement, private agencies. And I'm still in shock. And the person I married, he knew what was going on because he had ties to the court. He knew how they got down. He knew what they did. We moved to California in 1993. I've been living in suburbia. In my neighborhood, it might have been maybe 1 or 2 black people on my street. My daughter went to school. It was probably less than 2% black people. One of the people that I thought I was good friends with, her husband was a doctor. Our kids were good friends. I asked her to help me. She told me she couldn't help me. And I see her posting pictures of herself with a judge. And this was a black woman who I thought was my friend. This is a pro-black woman with natural hair. One of them kind of black people. Belonged to Jack and Jill. And you guys, my lack of support from black people, if I think about it, my heart is broken. But what I know is that we all don't get down like us, like that. Some of us have so much pride, and we recognize that our fate is linked. And the main issue, one of the major issues, is people died for us so we could have these liberties. They were hung, raped, murdered, burnt alive so we could have liberty. And Nolan Wells, you guys, that's some of the things I want to talk about. The press conference, some lady was like, well, what she talked about, I think it was an Asian lady. She was saying how just by happenstance we learned about Nolan Wells. You guys, I'm sure there's a whole lot of Nolan Wells. I need to keep on doing. I need to reunite Sandy Speaks more frequently. I've got so much saved in my phone about them killing people who look like us. That we're dying, we're coming up missing, we're being hung. What are some of the main things I want to talk about, you guys? You know what? I'm ranting, but what I want to say, look, I've been 40 minutes. We don't know what happened to Nolan Wells. What I want y'all to peep, you know, common sense tells you someone knows what happened to Nolan. Nolan Wells didn't just disappear and then mysteriously he died. Now, whatever it is, you guys, I'm going to I'm going to put his video in the description. What I want to talk about is the people who are saying that they black people like, oh, we don't have a race issue. There's no race issue at our school. Come on, y'all. Let me tell you something. I'm a black person in America, and I move in white spaces. And it's a rarity that I go and I move in white spaces or non-black or multicultural spaces, and something doesn't come up about my blackness, about being black. Or they don't make a comment about being something about black. That happens probably at least 70% of the time. Well, if I'm in a new environment, like if I'm maybe at a get together or gathering or a party or what, just in an environment where there's is multicultural people, frequently and often something is said about black, and I'm not offended by it because I know it's curiosity. You know, I know how we're perceived in this country, and it's twofold. We are admired for several reasons, but then we're on a lower hierarchy because as a group we haven't consciously made an effort to rise our place, the hierarchy in this country. And I know a lot of y'all gonna say you blaming the victim, and I need you to stop thinking like that. What these people do when they want something, when they want to be in a certain position or obtain something, they go get it. They don't say, oh, it's hard for us, we can't, y'all stopping us. They go get it. That's the American way. So, oh, you guys, I forgot what I was going to say again that quick. Ooh, my brain. Oh. I just been ranting y'all, and I should have outlined it, but I didn't feel like it. apparently some of the people are making comments or saying things. Somebody called out this little boy. I guess it's two people that have spoken out about Nolan Wells and Trayston Shepard and Javon Williams. You guys, and I shouldn't just I feel like it's just irresponsible to sit here and just make conjecture and make up things and just come out the air with stuff. 99% of social media is lies. It's not the truth. I come to learn. I research stuff. If I see a video or something, I never take it face value. I've looked for 4 or 5 sources before I decide that this is the truth. Okay, but I just know how people are, and those boys are lying. And because I know who these people are and how they get down, and because I'm a victim of them harming me, they will come to these kids and say, listen, go say this. Go say that. If the black kids or his friends, not even black, or the students or kids that know him, come and say and try to say, no, we wouldn't have wanted to see anything happen to him. No, it's no racial thing. Nobody would have harmed him. What I'm saying to y'all, because I was married to one of them for over 20-something years. He'd come home and tell me. They're very brazen. They'll go to the kid and say, hey, say this, and I'll give you this. Say this. Or they'll just put pressure and won't even give him anything. In the case of Carmelo Anthony, I haven't watched all the videos about him. It's a couple of people that went through the court procedures. You guys, I can't. It's going to make me sick. But my understanding that comments in the video said for Carmelo Anthony that black kids went and testified against him. That's why one of the reasons why the trial should have been at a different jurisdiction. Those black kids in Frisco, Texas, it's called Ocean Springs, Mississippi, they're going to be scrutinized by the other people. If they make a big to-do or say anything about this being racially motivated, they're going to be ostracized. And what you guys don't understand about these people, peer pressure is a big thing for them. I want to talk to y'all about my experience with them, and it's not negative. I hang with everybody. I don't stop hanging with them. I like a lot of people of different nationalities that have things in common with. I enjoy talking to, but peer pressure is serious with them. Okay, I always want to tell y'all stories. I want to tell you a story about the lady. I was belonging to the philanthropic group. It was called the National Charity Group. It was women and their daughters in different grades. You guys, the way that they peer pressure each other to participate, to contribute. I'm trying to tell you. And so what I'm saying to you, whatever you hear coming from, even if they look like us, you can't believe it. You gotta scrutinize everything. Every single thing. I'm uncomfortable with Ben Crump saying something about the grand jury. I think that was a teaser that he was dropping. Trent Out Loud talks about Ben Crump. I have an opinion of him because of my experience with him and another lady on his team, Camilla Moore. If you go to my stories, I married a white guy, and these 3 judges tried to annihilate me. You see what these people did and how people who are supposed to be protecting us, standing up for our civil rights, are a party to my oppressors. So, and I told myself that I wasn't going to do this. don't trust Ben Crumb at all. And I'm really apprehensive about saying that. I don't think I should say that, but like part of me is like I'm afraid that y'all who revere him and think that he's great may not support me or look badly upon me because I'm telling you what I feel. In the history of people harming us, there was always Judas. What was his name? William O'Neill. Who he was a part of the murdering Fred Hampton. Am I saying it right? It's always Judas. It's always a double agent. And I don't want to make that about isolating black people, saying that we are guilty of betraying each other. But that's human nature. That's human nature. Individuality, they would use whatever their position to uplift themselves. And that is the weakness in our culture. And it's not really like a black cultural thing specifically. It's a what's going on in the world thing of me, egoic, take care of me. That's happening across the board. But the problem is we can't afford it. Things that happen in our community, in our country, if it happens, yes, it happens to everybody, but it's always 2 times as bad for us. It's always exponential when it's us because we've never been able to be on an even playing field. And I'm not of the mind that we can't be on an even playing field. They need to make it about black. Carmelo Anthony should have been about his blackness, being a black man. In the case of Nolan Wells, a black man with all a majority white environment, and this is not coming from a racial place. This comes from trends. This comes from what is the pattern of in the trends for black people in this country. I need y'all to come mess with me and learn my case and help me fund my GoFundMe. And I need you to understand, I'm going to say this before I go. I need you to understand this is not for me. This is for us. This is for us to create precedents. This is what I wanted to say. Oh, God, I hope y'all still listen. A prominent family pulls $1 million scholarship endowment from the University of North Carolina in Wilmington after the school said it can no longer maintain the language giving special consideration to students committed to serving the African American community under the UNC system anti-DEI equality policy. And if you think that just like with Target, y'all mad at Target, if you think this is about people trying to specifically harm black people, the Federalist Society and other agencies are suing. The Department of Justice are suing for its inequality, its discrimination. If you offer a program or product to one specific group, that's illegal. That's a constitutional violation. And that constitutional amendment was enacted for Negro people. It was so they can't discriminate against us. So they can't treat us differently. I think her name was something Mobley. And so now that she lost, she was sued and she lost. Now she's in Africa I think her program was to help black women in business. Now she's in Africa. I want to talk about, if you go to the Department of Justice, they got all these different lawsuits against different agencies or entities or government agencies that are being sued for discrimination. Anti-DEI, affirmative action. You guys, that was turned around and reversed by the Federalist Society. And I'm annoyed because why aren't the black attorneys doing this? Why has Ben Crump or any other, he is the premier civil rights attorney. Why has he never made it about black? I've been following him forever. In the case of Amir, what is Amir's name? Locke was shot with a no-knock warrant, killed him. And Ben Crumb, he sees my post. He sees me. He made a little comment. And it's because he heard what I said. In the case of Amir Locke, in the case of Breonna Taylor, all you have to do is do an analysis how many no-knock warrants are executed in non-black areas. How many judges are signing no-knock warrants in 30 minutes? By reviewing paperwork in 30 minutes. That's what happened. Judge Mary Shaw signed a no-knock warrant for Breonna Taylor in 30 minutes. After reviewing 30 minutes. What happened to Amir Locke was criminal. So I understand that sometimes law enforcement, they are in precarious situations and unforeseen deaths occur. But why is it so often amongst black people? See, this is not rocket science. All you have to do is bring it to a federal court and say, hey, we are not being treated equal. We're not getting equal protection under the law. In my case, I'm not getting equal protection under the law. In my case, not only did I not get equal protection, they willfully, with forethought and malice, caused me financial and mental harm because I'm black. And that's why I need help with my case, because I need to take this to a federal court. I need a federal judge and a federal jury to review the evidence and demonstrate that it is rampant in this country that government agencies, the judicial system, government agencies, judges, justices, lawyers are work in cahoots. And you guys are talking about birds just escaped me because I don't sleep. They work in concert to hurt me. In the case of Nolan Wells, you guys, how is it possible that we don't know what happened to him? How in this little small town nobody has said or gave any real evidence? And this is what I want to say before I go, and I hate that I've made this video so long. They need to do a reward in Nolan Wells' case. If they do a $50,000 reward to anybody that has evidence or information that's going to lead to the arrest of someone responsible for Nolan Wells' death, somebody is going to squeal. 50 grand. Shit. I know Ben Crumb done probably raised $1 million by this time. $100,000 reward to anybody responsible can give information that leads to the arrest of someone responsible for the death of Nolan Wells. They had a reward for the guy, the medical, what is it, I forgot the name of the insurance company. That guy killed the insurance company CEO. They had a reward for him. Why is no reward for the person responsible? I mean, that's what I'm saying. If there's a $100,000 reward for any information leading to the rest of the culprits responsible for the death of Nolan Wells, money talking that BS walk. They stick together. But when you be talking about money, things change. Anyway, listen. I'm the 20th, and this is Reunite Sandy Speaks. Y'all come mess with me. Arian Simone was sued by the conservative group American Alliance for Equal Rights, Edward Blum, because she had a grant, $20,000 grant program that was given to black female entrepreneurs. Also, this is all encompassed. A family pulled a $1 million scholarship from North Carolina University because of the citing an anti-DEI policy. So they pulled it. And you guys, I want to tell you other instances that this happened. And what's happening is the same thing happened with Target. And what's happening is y'all are getting mad wrongly. They're doing this based on the Constitution Amendment of the 14th Amendment that was enacted for us, for newly freed slaves in 1866. So if you want to fight and get mad at Target and boycott, it doesn't make any sense. It's not smart action. This is the law. The problem is we don't use this Constitutional Amendment for us. You guys, I can't go through it all right now, but if you go to the Department of Justice, if you just search it, there are so many lawsuits by white people and Asian people, particularly white people, that they feel like they're being discriminated against. And if you think that's stupid, it doesn't matter, because it's the law. And if you do a program specifically for black people, it's illegal. It's discrimination. It's discrimination. It goes against the Constitution. And the part that y'all don't get, this was made for us. Do you not get how horrible this is? How embarrassing that they're using an amendment to the Constitution that was enacted in 1866 for us. And family, I need y'all to be smarter. You can't get mad and angry and cry and complain about it. We're not using it. In the case of Nolan Wells, he was being treated unequally. We can make a case, multiple cases, that demonstrates that we are not being treated equally. The problem is no civil rights lawyer will address it. They never make it about black. You gotta make it about black. Starbucks lost a lawsuit for $25 million. I think it was 26. Because they fired a white lady. And I think punitive damage was $24 million. We are staying in this position because we are not taking the proper action. And please don't tell me I'm blaming the victim. This is about being intelligent and doing things that's in the benefit of people who look like you and I. And I'm so sorry y'all get angry because I'm embarrassed. I've been sitting here begging for years for y'all to help me. My case is going to demonstrate discrimination, oppression, organized crime, just like Black Wall Street. Y'all sitting here boycotting Target, talking about Jay-Z, University of North Carolina. The reason why they're doing it, they're not doing it because they want to harm black people. They're erasing these programs because they'll get sued. They'll be sued. And like the man who's mad about their scholarship and they pulled the money back. If y'all see this video, I'll take $1 million for my case, because I probably gonna need close to $1 million to get justice. But maybe, hopefully not. But I'll take $1 million for my legal fees, investigation fees, and every other fee necessary for me to get justice. You know, I'm gonna wrap this up, and I'm just afraid that y'all are not getting this. Nolan Wells' investigation is not being treated like typical protocol, and it's because he's black. Carmelo Anthony was convicted and sent to prison for 35 years, a 35-year conviction, because he's black. And we're not rallying around the people that we need to. We can go out and protest. We can raise Cain. But these things need to be handled in a federal court. Please help me handle my discrimination, oppression, collusion, fraud, cover-up, anti-black. Help me bring it to a federal court so these people aren't so quick. You know, I'm really worried about Nolan Wells because they're doing a autopsy. You guys, I'm going to keep it a buck. I don't trust that man. I have reason to believe strongly that he's in bed with the police and the court system. Two of my own attorneys took my money and colluded with the opposing. And I'm going to show that in a federal court and demonstrate it beyond a reasonable doubt that these people colluded against me. Even people I paid $10,000 colluded against me. It's a business harming black people. If y'all want it to stop, we have to take real action. Anyway, listen, I'm a 20th. This is Reunite Sandy Speaks. Y'all comment.
They killing us for walking, killing us for jogging, kill us in our homes and fabricating and hiding. Where we had Sandra Bland's and Trayvon Martin's. If when you kill us, your family was a target. If your children was orphans, will you have compassion the next time you approach us? Yeah, we fed up, this is built up. Your city up in smoke, homeboy, we had enough. And I ain't enticing riots of violence, heighten the climate. I'm saying you smack me, I'm punching you in your iris. Retaliation is prescribed in both Bible and Quran. In the matters of the slang, see an eye for an eye, especially if the Justice Department do not